everyone, it's Saturday. Time for another episode of Beyond Garnet. Let's get creative.
May be too intense for some listeners, may be unsuitable for sensitive people, may cause dizziness, may cause drowsiness, may cause excitability. Safety goggles may be required for listening. Take with food, avoid contact with skin, avoid extreme temperatures, and store in a cool, dry place. This is not legal advice, must be present to win. Contents under pressure may contain small parts. Listen at your own risk.
Hey everyone, happy Saturday. You'll know my guest today from films like Memphis Belle, The Cutting Edge, and Fire in the Sky. The always wonderful DB Sweeney. Hey DB, thank you for joining me today.
Great to be here, thanks.
I'm super excited to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. It's good to talk to you.
So I have to tell you, I have seen The Cutting Edge probably hundreds of times. In that film, you're a hockey player. Did you grow up playing hockey?
No, I was a baseball player. I played soccer and, soccer season and baseball and basketball season, but I never played hockey. I grew up in Long Island where the ponds outside really never froze solid enough to skate. So it was an inside sport for the rich kids. So I was not part of that group.
Oh.
And when I got to Cutting Edge, they gave me 3 months to learn skate. So I just went every day and did the best I could. And they figured they were going to get stunt doubles and everything. It was all going to work out, and it did.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That was probably grueling, like learning that quick.
It was, in the beginning, I could barely move. I'd go down the ice and, you're wobbling around. And then I had a guy come from CCM Skate Company. He gave me some skates and fitted them properly. And, in those days, they used to heat them and then vacuum seal them to your feet. And that was a whole revelation for me. And I felt more confident. And it started out, 45 minutes or so on the ice. And by the end of the 3 months, I was skating about 6 or 6.5 hours a day, which was really, it was really fun. It's, anything you do for 3 months every day, like it's your job, if you do it religiously, you're going to improve. And we made big leaps and bounds, both Moira and I. She also had to learn from nothing.
So I learned something about you when I was sort of going over tidbits about you to do the podcast. I had seen Mountain Men, and I'd heard the narration, and I was like, I know that voice. Who is that? And then I realized it was you.
I love Mountain Men. We just started recording the new season, which is going to be premiering on History Channel in about 6 weeks. And I just love that show. These guys, they live off the grid, and they're, iconoclastic individuals. And I just love everything. It's very escapist TV for me. And when I first did it, I thought, I don't have anything in common with these 4 guys who live out in the middle of nowhere,
right,
hunt and trap and chase wolves and do things that they do. And then I thought, it's like a character. So I want to make the narrator be like the 5th Mountain Man. So the voice that I do on that show is a little exaggerated, but I feel like it fits in with the style of the show.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. What were you like as a kid?
Yeah, I was just kind of a normal kid. I played sports, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
I just grew up in a small town. My dad was a school teacher, and then he became a guidance counselor, and it was just a very normal, small-town existence. And, I didn't know anybody in show business or have any aspirations in show business. I wanted to play left field for the Boston Red Sox. And, when I got injured in college and I had to look around and do something else, I kind of settled on acting. I had done a play as a senior in high school and enjoyed it, but it wasn't like it was just sort of something to do as a senior in high school. And, I didn't really ever think anything was going to come of it, but while I was trying to recover from my injury, I wanted to stay busy, so I enrolled in college near where I was in New York and into the acting program because I thought it would be super easy, and I thought, there'd be 50 girls, and it would, be the easiest thing to do for a little while before I got out. And I got hooked almost right away. I started doing plays with my friends who also couldn't get parts, making, prestigious NYU productions. None of us would get parts, so we sort of went off on our own and started our own little theater off to the side, and we did a bunch of plays and pretended that they weren't school plays and invited casting directors from outside the school. And when I was a junior, I got a bite. An agent actually came. It set up like 60 seats, and there'd be like 57 empty seats. And one night, one of the seats was filled by an agent, and he signed me.
That is a great story. I love that because you created your own opportunities. And I think people need to take those risks and keep doing those things to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, if you do, if you enjoy doing something, well, why not still do it? And, unless it's like something like being a sniper or something, I probably wouldn't practice that. But,
Probably not.
I guess you can practice it at the range. I think people should dive in, and if you enjoy cooking or you want to be a baker on a cooking show or something, go get some flour and butter and get after it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what has been your most challenging film role to date? What do you consider to be the most challenging role that you've played?
I did a movie called A Day in October, which we shot in Denmark, and it's based on a true story of the Danish resistance to the Nazis in World War II. It was challenging because it was American actors, and then everybody else was Danish, the other actors, the crew, and everybody. So we're doing a movie, a famous story about the Danish resistance, but we're doing it in English. And the Danish people were a little bit annoyed that Americans had to play their heroic characters in order for the movie to get made. So it was just weird on the set, because I was trying to speak English the way the Danish people were speaking English, just sort of with a Danish accent. And the whole thing was a little bit weird and challenging, but I'm really proud of the movie, and it looks beautiful. It never really got a big release here in America, but it was very popular in Denmark, and it's a nice piece of historical drama. Kelly Wolf is terrific. And Daniel Gonzalez, the actor, was on Murder One. He's a really talented actor. He's got a great character in this thing. And it's just a good movie. If people check it out, Day in October. That was really challenging. And, when I did Lonesome Dove, I had to learn how to ride a horse. So that was a big challenge, especially because Tommy Lee Jones really hated the idea that some kid from Long Island who didn't know how to ride a horse was playing the top cowboy in Lonesome Dove. So
Yeah.
he was against it. And, so that was a challenge, keep my wits about me around Tommy Lee. And, every movie has its own little challenges. I mean, some of the movies that, I've been in a lot of movies that are not widely known. And sometimes, you sign on to a movie where the script is not really where it needs to be, and you figure we'll get that fixed as we go, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. So, the challenge is when you're on a movie like Cutting Edge, we have a great script and a lot of support, studios behind it. That's not as hard as being in a movie where it's like an independent movie and the script is kind of and, the people that are maybe not in the perfect casting situation of the parts they've been assigned to.
Right.
That's when you really, earn your bones, and that's where you prove your value. Anybody can be great, and, I have a lot of admiration for Tom Cruise, but he's been in A-list kind of movies his whole career, and you have the best cameraman, the best editor, the best co-stars, you have so many things going for you that, it's easier to be good in a situation like that. It's like when you're in a kind of an independent movie where the director's on the second movie or first movie and trying to figure it out. Those movies that's why I think if you can be good at a bad movie, that's when you really show that you know what you're doing.
So how do you think important training is to actors?
Well, I think that I think the best training an actor can have is to do theater. If you do live theater, the audience will train you. If they can't understand what you're saying. It's going to have a different meaning now with this coronavirus, but it used to be, if you do, when I was doing plays in New York when I started out, if people start coughing, they're not doing it necessarily consciously, but when they cough, they're saying they're bored or they can't hear you, and they're just communicating their discomfort. So the more coughing that's going on in the audience in those days, now everybody's probably going to treat it like the fire, they're going to run to the edges.
Right.
But it used to be a signal to the performers that, pick up the pace, be more clear, be funnier, be better. So, the audience kind of teaches you not just the coughing, but, you see they're moving in their seats and their discomfort. You sense they're giving you this feedback of how it's going. And so you learn what you're good at and what you need to be better at pretty quick. I'm not a big fan of acting classes because I feel like it's just an artificial setting and it's just, you're competing against other actors and people don't necessarily always give you honest feedback. They give you feedback that they think advances them in the pecking order of the class or all kinds of other agendas are going on. But I say if you get out there and do a play in front of 3 people or 300 people, whatever you can get, and you'll learn how to be an actor, or you'll learn that you're not an actor.
Yeah, I think theater is definitely important. I think it's it's a whole different world than film or TV, of course, and you've done all 3. There's a vast difference between each world, but it all comes back to being passionate about acting.
Yeah, there's different techniques. When you're you have to be able to project your voice without sounding like you're projecting your voice. Although now on Broadway they have microphones, which really irk me. When I hear somebody's voice that's been amplified, I feel like, I'm only 4 feet away. If they knew what they were doing, they could get it out to me. But those days are gone, unfortunately. unfortunately.
Yeah.
I guess because they want to rent those headsets. So to rent those headsets, you have to be able to have a microphone. But I don't like that sound. But when you do a play in a non-mic theater, you have to learn how to send out your voice, 30 feet away, where it sounds like you're just talking to somebody 3 feet away. And when you get on a movie or a TV set, you have to learn, how to hit a mark, how to stop where the camera's ready for you to stop, and then how to, you learn to play different levels of, size based on, what lens they have up. You learn that it's a 200 millimeter lens. That means it's pretty much my mouth and my eyes. So you don't want to do anything too big.
Yeah. So do you have any current projects right now that you can tell us about?
Yeah, the thing I'm most excited about is Two Dumb Mix, which you can currently watch on YouTube. If you just go to YouTube and put in Two Dumb Mix with no B, Two Dumb Mix, you'll see this new short I have with Sean Austin. And we premiered a couple weeks ago on Facebook Live. We had a huge watch party. It was awesome. And you can still watch it on Facebook if you want. Just go to Facebook, Two Dumb Mix. Or go to the website, twodumbmix.com. It'll tell you, if you forget all this other stuff, it'll tell you what to do. But it's me and Sean, and it's my homage to sort of the old slapstick comedy, Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy. I wanted to do something funny, physical comedy, and I wanted to work with Sean Austin. So this touches all three bases. I had to do a bunch more episodes. So hopefully we get a lot of eyeballs on YouTube, and people give us feedback about their story ideas and what they like about the characters, what they don't like about the characters, and just, kind of let us know what's going on, because it's a labor of love for Sean and I, and we just wanted to ease everybody's burden, not just necessarily during this crisis of the coronavirus, but, in general, people work hard and they live their life. Everybody needs a laugh. So, I'm so grateful to people like Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr, the great comedians that are out there, but that's not really what Sean and I do. We're actors, but we know how to play funny characters, so that's what we're trying to do here.
I love it. I'm definitely going to check it out. I think we definitely need to laugh more. I think we're getting away from that. So I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, a lot of comedy now, it's, people say, oh, that's inappropriate, you can't make fun of this,
right.
You can't make fun of that. And so the challenge of this was, what can everybody agree on? So we got two drunk white guys, drunks, and so they, we're making fun of ourselves. So there's no group that can be aggrieved.
Yeah.
Except for all my friends, drunk Irish guys. So, it's meant to be just good fun. Everybody can watch it. It's not too salty where kids can't watch it, and it's just, the Three Stooges, Abbott and Costello is the template.
I love it. Who inspires you in your life? For anything? Who's someone that you find inspirational? I know you probably have a list, everybody does, but who's someone that sticks out to you that's inspiring?
Well, the two best actors I've ever worked with are Robert Duvall and Ed Harris. And Ed Harris did me the honor of appearing in my movie that I wrote and directed, Two Tickets to Paradise. And I always watch everything Ed does because he's just so meticulous. And in the same way, that's what he shares in common with Robert Duvall. From The Godfather to Lonesome Dove to Great Santini, Duvall always has this very specific behavior, moment to moment. It just always feels real and believable and interesting. The same thing for Ed. So those are guys that when I'm doing something, if I'm on a set in the middle of the night and it's raining and it's kind of, you feel like, oh, this movie might suck. I just think, well, you know what? It's gonna show up on TV somewhere some night. Bob Duvall might flick through it and watch it. So this scene's for Bob Duvall or Ed Harris. I'm sure neither of them ever watch it, but that's what I try and think of, and that's where I derive inspiration in sort of difficult moments at work.
Well, those are a couple of good ones. Those guys are brilliant. So what do you think is the most challenging aspect of being an actor?
Well, getting parts is the hardest thing. I'm in my fourth decade of working where, I haven't had to do anything else. So, I've had an unusual level of longevity and success. And, you can't wait around for somebody to call you. Like the Two Dumb Mix thing, I started it. I wanted to work with Sean, so I wrote it. I put up the money, and, it wasn't like a big budget thing, but I got Sean to do it, and we went and did it. And my movie, Two Tickets to Paradise, the same thing. I called my friends John McGinley and Ed Harris and got them to come down. I wrote it with Brian Curry, who was one of my closest friends, and he's since gone on to write Green Book with the Best Screenplay Oscar and Best Picture Oscar. So I was so excited to see that, because Brian just struggled for a long time and had so many movies that he wrote that didn't get made. And so, I wish I was part of that whole ride, but, that was him and Peter Farrelly and my other friend Nick Ravalonga. And so it's just great to see guys that have been, at it for so long get rewarded. So, that's inspirational to me as well. That there's always a chance that this next thing you do might be the thing that is the best thing you've ever done. So I try to think of positive thoughts and just keep moving forward.
Yeah, and that's a great piece of advice for people who are just starting out in acting or directing or what have you. The next thing you do could be the big thing, so don't give up. Keep going. Yeah.
Everybody walking around the world, especially in this world of reality TV and YouTube, all the places where you can get seen, is that every one of the 6 billion people in the world is one movie or one show away from being a star.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It used to be when Hollywood was, sort of very closed system and stratified. You had to get discovered by certain people, and you had to have a great degree of luck. And it's different now. You can create your own opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So, are you a collector of anything? Do you have any certain thing that you collect?
No, I mean, I have a few. I wish I had collected a little more memorabilia from my, the early part of my career. I do have part of my vest from Lonesome Dove that my character wore, and I have, I think I still have the jersey that I got Bobby Hull to sign the jersey that I wear in The Cutting Edge, the jersey that I give to Maura Kelly's character for Christmas present. I have that actual jersey, and I got Bobby Hull to sign it, so that's on my wall.
That's cool.
But no, I don't really have a couple movie posters. I'm not a big collector.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have any big future goals that you've set for yourself?
No, just keep going. I mean, I'm pretty clear about, my job is, I'm not out here to tell people what to think. I'm an entertainer, and I want to continue to use, whatever gifts I have to, create and participate in stories and entertain people and take them away from, life is a struggle for a lot of people. And,
yeah.
And, I just feel like I've been given the great opportunity and, the way of responsibility to try and continue to do stuff that takes people away from the suffering in their life or the sadness in their life and, just to lift them up.
Yeah. Well, I think you do a good job of that. So what is a role you would like to play in the future that you're like your dream role?
I don't have a particular character or something I like to play as much as there's a world of, like, NASCAR is a really interesting world to me, and I feel like, I thought Days of Thunder was okay, but I think there's a better movie to be made about NASCAR. Of course, Talladega Nights was just, making fun of it.
Sure.
But I think that there's something in that world. I mean, there's a reason why that sport is so popular and people are so passionate and loyal to it. And some of it is the characters of the, a lot of these drivers, whether they put on the persona or it's actually who they are, but there's a little bit of a gunslinger in every one of those guys. What we liked about Westerns back in the day, there's something about that in that world that I'm trying to figure out a way in. I'm going to find a story and write it.
There you go.
So that's something that I want to get into.
Very cool. Do you like Westerns? Are you a Western fan?
Love them. Yeah, I mean, it's the purest form of Hollywood movie. And, so many of our greatest movies. I mean, The Searchers is it's not a perfect movie because the guy playing Ethan, John Wayne's partner in the movie, he's not as good as he needs to be.
Yeah.
To be opposite John Wayne. But other than that, it's a perfect movie. And that guy's really good. If anybody hasn't seen The Searchers, I don't want to talk you out of seeing The Searchers.
Yeah.
But it's about as good as it gets. The Treasure of Sierra Madre with Humphrey Bogart is not a traditional Western, but it's a Western. And, there's just so many great examples of whether Shane, High Noon. I mean, when our best actors get into Western, like Gary Cooper in High Noon, or whatever you want to name Jimmy Stewart in his great movies, they tend to, the Western fits the American movie star like a glove.
Yes, that is a perfect way to describe it. Yeah.
Kevin Costner in today's world. When Kevin Costner's in a Western, Kevin Costner's at his best. Yeah.
I loved him in Open Range. That was a great movie.
Yeah, tremendous. And Yellowstone, he's great in Yellowstone, which is, not really a traditional Western either, but it is a Western, and he's just great in that stuff. And, he was great in Silverado. It's, you put him on a horse or near a horse, and it taps into his best appetite.
Yeah. So who is someone you haven't worked with yet? You probably have a list for this too. Who are some people you haven't worked with that you would like to work with in the future?
I guess I just saw 1917. I thought that was pretty great. I love to work with Sam Mendes, the director.
Yeah.
And then, there's a few actors that I haven't gotten to work with that I'd like to work with. Christopher Nolan, the director, is, I think, probably one of the best directors. Mel Gibson is, I think, the most underrated director in Hollywood. I mean, he's got Passion of the Christ, he's got Apocalypto, and Braveheart. And I defy anybody to put together a list of, well, maybe Christopher Nolan has a list like that. I'd love to do something with Julia Roberts. I think she's underrated now that she's sort of fallen off of being a page one star. That I think she's a good actress. I think she's got more to do. So there's a lot of people that I would love to work with that I haven't had the pleasure of working with yet.
So this is a question everybody laughs at when I ask them. It's the goofiest question I ask anybody. Do you have a favorite type of cake?
What?
Cake? Like birthday cake or a chocolate cake? Yeah, cake.
Oh, I thought you said kink.
Oh, no. No.
I really like, I like anything with chocolate in it, but, my special one that I like to get on my birthday is Boston cream pie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, my daughter started baking. She's 15, and she's gotten into baking the last few years. And she makes the most amazing chocolate lava cake now, so that's giving the Boston cream pie a run for its money.
Oh, chocolate lava cake's good, too. Oh, man, you're in trouble. You have, like, a really good baker in your house. You're going to be in trouble.
I know. I got to be careful.
Yeah. Okay, so if you could give the listeners one piece of advice, what would it be?
Be of good cheer.
Yeah.
I know that sounds... I like that because, for me, it reminds me... There's something I used to say when we were doing a play, when we were doing it in the theater. It just felt like something Shakespeare might say, even though I don't think he ever did. But the idea is that you got to go to work, you got your adversity, you got whatever's going on, and you can decide either to be in a bad mood or a good mood. And you really do control... It's one of the only things you control is your mood. So be of good cheer. It's contagious, and, it gives you a better chance to accomplish the task in front of your team. I
like it. Be of good cheer. I'm going to use that. I'm going to say that to people. You've inspired me to do that. I'm going to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, I believe it does. It's like when you smile at someone in the grocery store and they smile back. It's like, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where can people find you on social media?
On Twitter, it's Real DB Sweeney. It's same thing on Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, I think it's Actor DB Sweeney. But if they go to YouTube to see Two Dumb Mix, I think that's a good place to start. Dumb
okay.
With no B. And or twodumbmix.com is a website that's got some stuff that's growing all the time where we're trying to build out this show. And but I try to put stuff on Instagram. I'd love if people follow me there, or on Twitter, Real DB Sweeney, and that'd be great. So thank you for referring them to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. So where can people find some of your older films? Are they streaming, or can they still get them on Amazon on DVD? Or
most of them are available if they just Google the name of the movie. The film Two Tickets to Paradise that I produced and directed, I actually just got the rights back from Paramount, where they had them for 10 years. So we're going to re-release that movie. So that one will be coming up in this fall, I think. And that'll be great because, finally, the movie studio got all the money until now, but now I actually might see $5 from it. If people look for that one, that'd be great. If people promote that one, it actually happens.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, DB, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I will, when I post this, I'll put the website for Two Dumb Mix in the description and do a little click through. They can just click on it and go to the website.
Awesome.
Yeah. We'll follow you on Twitter and all that good stuff.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, DB. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Big shout out to Kevin MacLeod over at Incompetech for our super slick theme song, Jet Fueled Vixen. And a big shout out to Michelle Lawson for our super amazing disclaimer.